The No Fate channel, checking in. On this episode of Dad's Home Gym, I am reviewing from Rep Fitness their 3-tier dumbbell rack, and we're gonna get into the absolute weeds on this thing. We're gonna talk about color, we're gonna talk about dimensions, we're gonna talk about cost, how you can save money on this Rep Fitness 3-tier dumbbell rack. We're gonna talk about assembly, how I screwed up the assembly and hopefully save you from doing the same. And then probably more importantly, we're gonna talk about why I went with Rep Fitness over all the other dumbbell racks that are out there. And I did compare this to a number of them. I pulled out the engineering degree and just kind of crunched some numbers and ultimately went with this one. And then finally, we're gonna figure out where to put this in my home gym. And I want you to comment below 2 things. Let me know what you're doing to save space in your home gym. And number 2, let me know where you think I should ultimately put this dumbbell rack. If this is your first time to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. On this Dad's Home Gym series, I just review a piece of home gym equipment on every episode to help you decide if it's gonna be right for your home gym, if it's something that you can benefit from, and most importantly, if it's worth your hard-earned money. And for those of you who thought I was gonna save the cost of this thing to the end, guess again, we're gonna go right into it. Cost has always been and probably will always be the #1 factor that people use when comparing home gym equipment and making their final decision. The Rep Fitness 3-tier dumbbell rack comes in at $140 plus shipping, and I know that shipping costs can be rough, but I will tell you the best way to save on shipping costs is to kind of group your purchases so that you're buying a whole bunch of stuff at once to ultimately bring that shipping cost per pound down as far as possible. At $140, this Rep Fitness is more expensive than a lot of the competition, but the devil is in the details. When I looked at a lot of the competition, much of it was 2-tier, not 3-tier, and this 3-tier rack is going to hold a lot more dumbbells. Also, unfortunately, a lot of the competition, if you look at the photos, they were photoshopped to make them appear longer, making you think that they're gonna hold more dumbbells. But when you actually read the details, they're actually more narrow, and the space available to hold the dumbbells is a lot less. So that obviously is factored in. And lastly, and probably most importantly, you gotta figure how long is your dumbbell rack gonna last. If you get a really good one, it's probably gonna last you a lifetime. And many people can't really fathom what a lifetime is. So let's just quickly talk 20 years. This dumbbell rack in 20 years is still gonna be a dumbbell rack. It's still gonna be doing its job, holding dumbbells and saving you space. And how much is that extra price really gonna matter over the course of that 20 years? Are you gonna be happy that you went with the higher quality, the more durable dumbbell rack? Or are you gonna have moved on from the cheaper dumbbell rack and had to pony up the money to get the good stuff? The Rep Fitness dumbbell rack is 4 feet long, 3 feet high, and then 2 feet wide. It is made from 11 gauge steel. Remember, the lower the gauge, the thicker, the stronger, the better the quality of the steel. When I was comparing the Rep Fitness dumbbell rack to a lot of the other competition racks that are out there, unfortunately, they didn't even mention the quality of the steel. How much does it weigh? It actually weighs 75 pounds. You wouldn't think it, but it does. It's quite heavy. And when you compare it, or at least when I did, compared to the majority of the competition, it outweighed the competition by 25 pounds. And all of that weight does matter because that speaks to the stability and the quality of the build. How many dumbbells does this thing actually hold? And the truth is, it all depends because dumbbells range in size, as we all know. If you go to their website and you buy a whole set, the 5 to 50 pound set, one of these dumbbell racks will fit the entire set. Conversely, if you go from the 5 to 75 pound set, you're gonna need 2 of these racks. And one of the things that they do say on their website is that they do not guarantee that this will fit your dumbbells. They only guarantee it for the Rep Fitness dumbbells, but they do put the dimensions here, and I'll put those up here on the screen. So you can obviously, if you already own dumbbells in advance, you can measure your own dumbbells to see if they'll fit. I will say, I put a bunch of random dumbbells on here that I already owned, and they all fit. So I got a feeling if you already own dumbbells, as long as you do your due diligence, you're gonna find that this thing is gonna fit those dumbbells as well. So I paid a bit more money for this dumbbell rack than the competition. What did I get with regards to the extra value? First and foremost, this matte black finish is ridiculous. It's the camera's not doing it justice. It is smooth, it feels good on the hands, and frankly, it just screams long lasting. Also, there is not one sharp edge on this thing. Everything is absolutely rounded, so it's not gonna basically damage your dumbbells or your hands when you go to put those dumbbells back. Also, hopefully you can see this, the bolts that they use, and this is one of the standouts I personally feel with Rep Fitness, the bolts that they use on this thing are solid. They don't go cheap when it comes to bolts, nuts, and washers. They build this thing to last and to hold up. And that's good because frankly, I'm super lazy. I'm gonna put the heaviest dumbbells on top because I'm too lazy to bend over to pick them up. And I needed something that was extremely strong and extremely sturdy because honestly, for safety reasons, you should be putting the heavier ones on the bottom. And the last thing that they did that a lot of people would probably overlook is that they added a support triangular bracket at the foot of this that's welded in, allowing for a very nice, clean look, but adding tons of extra stability that you need when you're gonna be loading this thing up for those big boy dumbbells. Rep Fitness's 3-tier dumbbell rack actually comes in 4 colors: red, blue, matte black, and metallic black. So I went with black for a number of reasons. One, most of the equipment I already own is black, so it fits right in. Number 2, black goes with everything. So if I randomly get some used piece of equipment that happens to be purple, it's still not going to be an issue because it's going to fit right in. And 3, my long-term thinking down the road is frankly, if this happens to get scratches or nicks on it because of my misuse, it's going to be a lot easier for me to touch it up with black. It's going to be a lot easier and less likely to be noticed for me to match those colors than say a red or a blue.
You were looking at me with that same expression. You remembered my face for about the hundredth time.
I made 2 mistakes when assembling this dumbbell rack, which was frankly my own fault, but I want to save you those 10 minutes. Number 1, with these bars, you think that when you take them out of the box that they can actually go any which way, and that's untrue. The screw holes are beveled on one side, so when you line them up, make sure that you have the beveled side on top, allowing for these screws to sit flush, and there's going to be no issue when you put the dumbbells on top of them. Now, the second mistake I made has to do with the support bars on the edges. At the very bottom of the feet, you don't need the extra support bar because Rep Fitness thought very well enough to put a super strong, thick, welded piece of metal there, so it's not necessary. I was in such an excitement to put this together, I didn't bother to look, and I slapped a support bar on the side and frankly had to undo it because it wasn't needed. It's time for Fate of the Union, where I give you my final thoughts and roundup on this 3-tier dumbbell rack from Rep Fitness. And right off the top, I am glad I spent the extra money. Clearly, there's more expensive dumbbell racks out there. This is definitely not the cheapest, but I felt that the value is just an absolute standout in terms of the 75-pound weight, the beautiful thick bolts, the great finish, the rounded corners, the 11-gauge steel, and absolutely over-delivering on my expectations. Would I buy it again? Yes. If I get enough dumbbells, I will buy it again. Frankly, my only concern is where am I going to put it in this home gym? I think I'm going to have to do a bit of rearranging. Let me know if you've got any thoughts. And hey, let me know, comment below what you do to save space in your home gym. On most of my videos, I think that ends up being the #1 discussion point is how can we save more space? That's usually the limiting factor with most people's home gym. So I'm always looking for ways to improve my organizational skills and to save more space. If you came this far in the video, please do me a huge favor. If you're thinking of using Rep Fitness, click on the affiliate link in the description. It helps me out, it supports the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. I would definitely recommend buying in bulk. I know it's easy to say because it's not my money, but that is the greatest factor in terms of reducing the price of shipping, because eventually you get enough shipment that you hit freight shipping and then the price kind of goes down, at least with respect to the price of poundage you're gonna be paying. Hopefully this has been informative. If you came this far in the video, thank you for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. This channel is dedicated to my life as a father of 2 wonderful children, and it centers around health, fitness, and all of the tricks and tribulations that I go through to try to be a great parent to my children and still accomplish my own personal goals.